Hello, my dear friends. Let's start with the chapter 13 Sex and Relationships. Note, this chapter contains a vision of the attitudes toward sex and relationships as they exist in higher dimensions. There is a significant departure from the current attitudes that some of you may have. If you feel offended by any alternative viewpoints on these matters, we suggest that you skip this chapter completely. Question: what is called the oldest profession? Answer: prostitution. As commonly understood, the prostitute allows another person to use his or her physical body in exchange for money. What is wrong with prostitution? If nothing is wrong, then why is prostitution illegal in so many countries? If something is wrong, then why is prostitution legal in so many countries? Does the same wrong act in New York become the right act if performed in Amsterdam instead? Let's know about: do you work for an employer? The majority of the people in the world work for someone else. With a professional or office job, when you go to work for an employer, you are allowing the employer to use your mental body or mind in exchange for money. Are you a prostitute since you are allowing someone to use your mental body for money? With a manual job, when you go to work for an employer, you are allowing the employer to use your physical body in exchange for money. Are you a prostitute since you are allowing someone to use your physical body for money? If your answer is yes, then what is wrong with prostitution? If your answer is no, then why not? You meet the classical definition of prostitution. Let's know about the dividing line. Every one of us has 7 different bodies, as mentioned earlier. These are visible to the clairvoyant as the 7 layers of the human aura. The physical body is the densest body. It has the lowest rate of vibration or frequency. First of all, no one has a problem with our allowing another person to use any of our 6 higher frequency bodies other than the physical body in exchange for money. Even those who think prostitution is wrong do not believe that doing a manual laborer's job is wrong, or that it is prostitution. So it is not even the use of the physical body in exchange for money that they have a problem with. The problem only comes with the use of the physical body in a way that we call sex. Let's know about the ideal secretary. Molly lives with her boyfriend. They have a good relationship. She moved in with her boyfriend, Tom, after dating him for a few months. Tom and Molly have been living together happily for a couple of years. They have a good sex life and have lately been talking about possibly getting married. Molly works as an executive secretary at a prestigious law firm. Her boss, David, is a renowned lawyer. David is married, has 3 children, has a good family life, and is well respected in social circles. David is a warm and friendly person with a good sense of humor. From time to time, depending on the caseload and court appearances, David and Molly have to work late at the office. One of those nights, as Molly is trying to rush and get some things done, she slips on the floor, falls, and sprains her ankle. She is unable to stand up on her own. David helps Molly by lifting her up from the floor and placing her on the couch in his office. While David is carrying Molly to the couch, for the first time ever, Molly feels a physical attraction for David. They have never been this close before. Molly is in no condition to drive home, and David has to stay and finish the casework on his own. Hence, he requests Tom to come and take Molly home, which Tom does. Now, let's understand the monkeys on Molly's shoulders section. That night, as Molly is lying in bed, attempting to sleep, she can feel this big argument in her head. It is almost like there are two monkeys sitting on her, one on each shoulder, the one on the right shoulder and the other on the left shoulder. They are talking about that attraction that Molly felt for David as David was carrying her to the couch in his office. Let's call monkey on the right shoulder as R and monkey on the left shoulder as L. R says David is attractive. His arms are so stiff and strong. L says, but David is a married man. R, wonder what David's wife feels about him. L, you should be thinking of Tom. Remember, he is your boyfriend. R, I wonder if David felt the same energy that I did. L, what is wrong with you? You are supposed to be loyal to Tom. R, yeah, but nothing happened. I didn't try to feel anything. I had the feeling anyway. L, you better not discuss this with Tom. R, you mean it is okay to discuss it with David? L, no, don't even mention it to David. R, why not? L, then David might start getting ideas and things could develop further. R, so what's wrong with that? Just then, Tom walked into the room and the two monkeys suddenly disappeared. However, Molly couldn't sleep for a long time, wondering what she has done wrong, if anything. After all, she was not even married to Tom, so could any of this be wrong? Let's understand a growing conflict. Life goes on, but Molly could never get that feeling out of her mind. Tom had no inkling of this conflict in Molly's mind, and his relationship with Molly continued to improve. With each little move on David's part, Molly's feelings became stronger for him. Even if David would give Molly a pat on the back for a job well done, as he would customarily do, Molly would sense that attraction getting stronger. She kept wondering whether she was doing something wrong, but she could never figure out why something would feel so good if it was so bad. And after all, she was still in love with Tom, and they had even been talking about getting married. Now let's learn about the wedding bells ring. The day came when Molly and Tom finally got married. It was a happy event, and they continued their life as husband and wife. Their sex life was good, and Molly was happy with her decision. Yet the physical attraction for David kept growing. However, Molly found that her physical attraction for David didn't reduce her love or attraction for her husband, Tom. Molly kept wondering if there was something wrong with her. Then it ha- okay, let's learn about then it happened. Tom was out of town on a business trip. David's family had gone on a vacation. David and Molly were working late at the office trying to prepare for the court appearance the next morning. It was getting late. They had just finished their work. They sat on the couch in David's office to relax and have a drink before going home. One thing led to another, and fireworks. The best sex that Molly had ever experienced. They lay in each other's arms for a long time. Finally, David dropped Molly home. Good, good, good. As Molly went to bed all alone that night, she was feeling so good as she had never felt before. She tried thinking about it. She felt good that the sexual experience had made her whole body tingle. She felt good that she loves her husband. She felt good that she no longer needs to fantasize about David. Molly slept very well that night. Now let's know about celebrating all our bodies equally. Human beings operate on the pain or pleasure principle. In everything that we do, we try to avoid pain and we seek pleasure. The question then arises, who decides what is pain and what is pleasure? Each one of us has to use our free will to make that decision every time. The only restriction is that we do not plan to hurt anyone else with our actions. If you are talking to someone, you are using your mental body to think, your emotional body to feel the other person, and your physical body to express yourself. If you feel good talking to this person, you are getting some pleasure out of it. And you would want to continue talking to this person at other times. If you do not feel good talking to this person, your mental and emotional bodies are suffering pain, and you would want to avoid this person in the future. So, in this example, we are applying the pain or pleasure principles to our mental and emotional bodies. Similarly, we need to operate on the pain or pleasure principles using all our bodies without discrimination. The reason Molly felt so good is because she did everything using her free will. And she felt the pleasure in her mental, emotional, etheric, and physical bodies. And she did it without planning to hurt anybody. Now let's learn about the Kama Sutra and the temples of Khajuraho. One of the most ancient civilizations in the world is the Hindu culture of India. Amongst the scriptures of India is an ancient scripture called the Kama Sutra. It is a treatise, probably the most detailed in the entire world literature, on the enjoyment of the physical body using sex. Other scriptures similarly provide detailed instructions on enjoying the various bodies that we have. The ancient scriptures instruct us to use the pain or pleasure principles to enjoy all our bodies equally without discrimination. Our modern society has forgotten that and artificially discriminates against the enjoyment of the physical body. Why should we not enjoy all our bodies equally? And why not enjoy sex? Now, author says, it is not just the Kama Sutra that teaches us about the enjoyment of sex, but entire temples, such as the temples of Khajuraho in India, were built with detailed carvings showing the various ways to enjoy sex. Regular players and ceremon- Regular prayers and ceremonies were held at these temples for centuries because sex was not looked upon as just a physical body experience, it was looked upon as a path to the spiritual divine. Why build temples devoted to sex? What is so good about sex? At the point of sexual orgasm, all our bodies come together as one. For the common person, this is the only experience of oneness that the person has in his lifetime. Tantra, popularly known as the yoga of sex, teaches how to attain that oneness state even without a sexual orgasm. Yet, most people are not learned tantrics. Everyone, however, knows how to have sex, and no longer learning is required. So, what about prostitution? If two or more adults do something by choice, using their own free wills, and they are not planning to hurt anyone else, then the activity is only providing pleasure to all involved. So, what is wrong with two or more persons enjoying sex by mutual consent? Then there is nothing wrong or bad about prostitution as long as it is not forced. Let's learn about the oldest profession disappears. In the new world, there will be no need for prostitution. Nobody will need money. At the same time, when two people decide to have sex by mutual consent, they will just enjoy sex and not feel any guilt about it. Why should you feel bad about doing something good and pleasurable? And if you don't think it is good, then don't do it. It is as simple as that. Use of free will by all is recognized and honored in the new world. Let's learn about arbitrary rules. Almost every rule or law that restricts a human behavior in any form is the imposition of somebody's will or value system on a group of people that the imposing parties want to control. Let's learn about the superficial marriage. In today's society, an undue emphasis is put on the marriage ceremony. Theoretically, the man and the woman take a oath to be with each other for the rest of their lives and to be loyal to each other. In reality, a vast majority of people break their oaths with impunity, and often break their marriages as well. So, do the marriage oaths really mean anything? If not, then why make them? The average marriage in the United States lasts only 5 years. Isn't that short for a lifetime vow? Ours is fast becoming a divorce culture, and breaking a marriage is becoming easier and easier to the point where a lot of places you can just do it yourself and get out of a marriage. So the question is, if marriage and divorce both are easy and common, then why get married in the first place? Why not just stay together without the legal marriage? This is exactly what a majority of Europeans are now doing. They live together as if married, but leave whenever they feel like. In both cases, they save themselves the hassles of a lot of legal and administrative procedures. Let's learn about monogamy, polygamy, or nogamy. What is man supposed to do? We keep hearing conflicting information from different sources. Who should we believe? Some say, I should only have one wife. Why this limitation? Did Krishna not have 1,000 wives? Did the kings, rulers, and pharaohs not have hundreds of wives or harems? Am I not entitled to the same privileges? And why not? Now let me clarify this. I can have as many wives as I want as long as I have them one at a time. Then, why can I not have the same number of wives at one time? Who came up with this illogical rule? Please help me out with the following too. If I have one wife and three mistresses, that is okay. But if I have two wives and two mistresses, then that is not okay. And why is that? I just heard some good news. Instead of having one wife and three mistresses, now I can marry all four and have four wives at one time. I have made an appointment for tomorrow to convert my religion. Ah, the joy of four wives. Oh, I was just ready to go for my conversion appointment, but then I heard about something even better. If I don't get married at all, I can have as many mistresses as I want, and nobody cares. I have decided not to marry at all. Nogamy is the best. Let's learn about freedom from bondage. Since the legal institution of marriage is fast losing its significance, and people are beginning to accept that free will is paramount. In the new world, we will all be free to do what we want. We would not require legal paperwork and formalities. One can just freely choose one's partner and stay with him or her as long as the relationship works, even for a lifetime, if useful for both parties. In addition, the acceptance of the joy of sex will result in more stable relationships. One relationship doesn't have to break for another to be enjoyed. This is the end of the chapter. Thank you.